Hey, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have some more Fallout 76 news and information to share with you. So with that said, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. The first piece of information we're going to be looking at has to do with level restrictions when it comes to weapons and armor inside Fallout 76. And what I mean by this is that essentially inside Fallout 76, you will need to be a certain level to use certain weapons and certain armor in the game. And this all came about when Pete Hines actually answered someone's question on Twitter when they asked about level restrictions when it comes to weapons and armor. And that was here. So the user asked and says, at DC Deacon, hey Pete, do weapons and armor in Fallout 76 have level restrictions, or can you use them at any level? I also wanted to thank you for everything you and everyone else over at Bethesda have done for us so far. Keep up the good work. To which Pete Hines replies, there are some of each that require you to be a certain level. And if you actually go ahead and look back a little while ago on Twitter, a picture of a guitar sword was tweeted out, and if you look on item stats, it says level 15. So it looks like inside Fallout 76 you are going to need to be a certain level to use certain pieces of armor and certain weapons. Now this is certainly a change from what we're used to. I mean, think about Fallout 4, think about Fallout 3, not the power armor in Fallout 3, but think about Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. Anytime you've seen a piece of armor or a weapon that you liked, you could just use it. There were really no level requirements for it. But inside Fallout 76, it's clear that there are going to be level requirements to use certain pieces of armor and certain weapons. Now, I'm not sure why Bethesda Game Studios is doing this. I picture so it's really low level people won't, be able to, get these really powerful weapons and powerful armor and kind of just blow through the game. I picture they want people to play through the game at a certain pace. I picture they want people to level up and grind their way through the game rather than just blowing their way through the game, by giving themselves really good pieces of, armor or really good pieces of, or really good weapons. Other than that, I really can't see why they would do level restrictions when it comes to armor and comes to weapons, and I really can't tell you, to be honest. But why do you guys think Bethesda Game Studios has put level restrictions in the game when it comes to weapons and armor? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, moving on to the next question, again, Twitter, Pete Hines, somebody said, at DC Deacon, hey Pete, theoretical question. If I were to loot a house, back out of the game/application and reload, would the house be relootable? To which Pete Hines put, no, it is not dependent on you. It's set inside the world and things wouldn't respawn for several hours. Into which he puts in parentheses or brackets, no, I'm not telling you how many. So inside Fallout 76, when it comes to looting, it looks like items and objects will take several hours to respawn. So let's go ahead and use an example here. Let's say I loot a small abandoned shack and I find some really good stuff in this small abandoned shack. And I want to loot the small abandoned shack again. I'm gonna have to wait several hours to loot this small abandoned shack again, so all the stuff will respawn inside the shack. I cannot back out of the game, load it up again, and just loot the shack, because the loot won't be there. It's not dependent on me, it's dependent on the world, and the world takes, certain amount of time to respawn the loot, like Pete Hines says, several hours. You can't simply walk in another direction and come back and loot the shack, because it doesn't work like that. Again, it's dependent on the world and will take several hours for stuff to respawn, which is quite interesting. I mean, if you look at a game like Destiny, you could, walk, a little bit of ways away, the enemies respawn, and you could do it again. Walk a little bit of ways away, the enemies respawn, and you do it again. Walk a little bit of ways, so on and so forth, and just keep on doing that. But in Fallout 76, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that. It looks like if you loot a place, you're going to have to wait several hours for that loot to respawn. Now, I know what some people are going to say. What happens if, you go to loot a certain area and somebody else had just looted it, and will there still be loot there for you? because to be honest, if you went somewhere and somebody had just looted it and there was no loot for you, that would be a huge inconvenience. However, it has already been confirmed inside Fallout 76 that all the containers in the world are going to be different for each and every single person and hold different items for each and every single person. So let's say I am going to loot Mothman Museum and somebody had just cleared out Mothman Museum of all the enemies. I can still go through there and open up all the containers and loot Mothman Museum essentially. So don't worry about missing out on loot if somebody gets there before you, because all the containers, are going to be different for everybody in the game. And, the stuff found on enemies' bodies are going to be different for everyone in the game. So don't worry about that. You will still be able to loot a location if somebody just looted it. Or at least that's what we can, say based on the information we have so far from Bethesda Game Studios. So moving on to our next piece of information that we're going to talk about. Somebody asked a really good question, and it was this. At DC Deacon, if you are in a team fighting a Deathclaw, any enemy, will the player that does the final blow get all the XP, or will it be based on total damage for each player? To which Pete Hines puts, everyone gets XP for participating. Now this is really cool because there's some games where if you don't deal the final blow or you don't do, enough damage, you won't get XP for actually killing that enemy. And it's really cool to see that Bethesda Game Studios has taken this into account. So it seems like if you participate, whether you're shooting the enemy a couple of times, doing, massive damage to the enemy, doing a little bit of damage to the enemy, once that enemy dies, as long as it's killed, it seems like you'll get some sort of XP for doing that. And I thought that was pretty neat and a really good question. So moving on to our next topic of information for the video, this actually has to do with a bunch of content creators who played Fallout 76 at that Fallout 76 event in Greenbrier, West Virginia, where people, were capturing a bunch of footage for that game. And essentially a lot of the content creators who played the game are giving it really good reviews. Now we looked at some good reviews yesterday. However, today more reviews for Fallout 76 have kind of surfaced from people who played Fallout 76 at that Fallout 76 event at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. So let's go ahead and look at them. So first off, Maddie says Fallout 76. And then he puts under it, yes, it's very good. And somebody actually asked him, be honest, would you say it's not if that was a truth? And it says, I don't think so. To which Maddie puts, then you're thinking wrong. They've come here for feedback and I give it to them straight. So it looks like Maddie, Mr. Maddie Plays on YouTube, is very happy with Fallout 76. He's another Fallout 76 YouTuber, or a Fallout / Skyrim YouTuber, if you will. Bethesda YouTuber, essentially. And if he says that it's good, I believe that Fallout 76 will be good, because he is very truthful when it comes to his reviews and opinions on things. So if he says Fallout 76 is good, I would believe it. But he's not the only person who gave a good review to Fallout 76. Somebody named Renee, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she's a Twitch streamer, posted this on Twitter earlier. It says, I spent 3 hours with Fallout 76, and I'm pretty sure it will be my favorite Fallout of them all. Thank you at Bethesda Studios, at Fallout, for hosting such an awesome event. I can't wait until Reclamation Day. So that seems like a pretty good review in my opinion. She says that it's going to be her favorite Fallout of them all, and she can't wait for Reclamation Day, which is essentially she can't wait to play more of the game. So that's another good review for Fallout 76. That's not it. Another person who was at the Fallout 76 event who got to play it, known as Punji Stick, said this. My fellow Americans and everyone else, I love you too. At Fallout 76 was easily the most fun game I've touched in a long time. Reclamation Day can't get here soon enough. Thank you so much at Bethesda for this trip. Our future begins. Hashtag Fallout 76. So that's pretty good that a lot of these content creators who went to this event, who played Fallout 76, are giving it good reviews. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't a good game, they would just tell us straight. I mean, after all, they are content creators, and, make a living off having a, you know, community. And if they lie to that community, the community is going to leave them, correct? However, if they tell the truth and they're honest with the community and they give their honest opinion each and every single time, you know, their community grows and it flourishes. And I highly doubt any of them would lie whatsoever. You know, if Fallout 76 was a bad game, I'm pretty sure a lot of them would say, wow, that game was terrible. However, it seems like a lot of the content creators who played Fallout 76 at this Fallout 76 in West Virginia are very happy with Fallout 76. And I believe we have one more from Camelworks, who said, going through my hashtag Fallout 76 footage, I am stinging to play more of it. And if Camelworks is excited to play more of Fallout 76, who's another Fallout YouTuber, you'll know that that probably points in the direction of Fallout 76 being a good game. Now, I have not seen a negative review yet from anybody who went to this event and played Fallout 76. I have only seen positive reviews about Fallout 76 from the people who went there and played Fallout 76 at this event in West Virginia. So, yeah, that's a really good sign. Fallout 76 getting some more good reviews. Now, moving on to some more questions that Pete Hines answered on Twitter today. I think they're very important, as a lot of people did ask the same question. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at those and gain some more information and insight on Fallout 76. So the first question is, at DC Deacon, hi Uncle Pete. If a player builds a base on a server, then leaves the server, re-enters, and another player has built a base in the same place, what happens? Thanks for all your answers and for taking your time in this. To which Pete Hines replies, their base would be packed up into their camp, and they'd have to pick a new location. Given the size of the world and the number of locations you can build in, hopefully it won't happen very often. So if you build your base and, you know, you log out and somebody builds their base where you built your base, essentially your camp will get packed up, you know, into your inventory the next time you log in, and then you could just go build your base somewhere else. But like Pete Hines says, there's so many locations that you could build in that it probably won't happen very often. And to be honest, I don't think it will happen that often. I mean, you know, the map being 4 times the size of Fallout 4, everyone's going to have different tastes. Some people are going to want to be in Cranberry Bog. Some people are going to want to be in the beauty of the forest. Some people are going to want to be in the ash heap. And, you know, there's going to be different people who have different tastes scattered all around the map. And 24 people on a map 4 times the size of Fallout 4, I highly doubt that you're going to build your base in the same place someone else is. And if it does happen, it'll probably be very rare, or at least hopefully it will be very rare, because that would suck to have to relocate your base every time you know, build it. So moving on to the next question, somebody named Dylan Williams says, will I be able to play Fallout 76 with friends in other countries? For example, I live in America, but both my friends live in the UK. Will we be able to squad up during and after the beta at DC Deacon, at Fallout, at Todd H. Bethesda? To which Todd H. Bethesda says no, and the Yiffy Wastelander says oof, and Pete Hines responds, yes you can. That isn't Todd, that's some moron with too much free time pretending to be him. So yes, you will get to play with people in different countries. I've seen this question a lot, to be honest, and it's quite interesting that people would wonder if they could play with people in different countries, but it looks like as long as they have the access to the Fallout 76 beta and or the Fallout 76 game, and you have access to the Fallout 76 beta, and you have access to the Fallout 76 game, you will be able to play with them when the game does come out or when the beta comes out, even if they live in a different country. So, yeah. One more really good question came from someone when he said, at DC Deacon, so I'm asking this for my friend who happens to be worried about it, but if you don't have an Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus subscription, can you at least play hashtag Fallout 76 alone, or even only with a single friend? To which Pete Hines replies, it's an online-only game played entirely on servers, which essentially means no, you cannot play this game without an Xbox Live Gold subscription or a PlayStation Plus subscription. For us on PC, or for those of the people that are on PC, we don't need a subscription. You could just play it through Bethesda.net and their launcher. However, if you are on PlayStation 4, Xbox, you will need PlayStation Plus and or Xbox Live Gold to actually access this game, because the game is entirely online. So yes, you do need Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus to actually play this game. So yeah, moving on to our next and final pieces of information for this video. It has to do with that Fallout 76 event currently going on at the Greenbrier Hotel in West Virginia, or I should say the Fallout 76 event that is no longer going on at the Greenbrier Hotel in West Virginia, as two posts have come from essentially that Fallout 76 event saying that it's over. So one of them was from the official Fallout Twitter page when they said, "It's been almost heaven this week. Thank you to @Greenbrier for having us." And it says, "Leave Vault 76 when hashtag Fallout 76 releases on November 14th. And if you watch the video on Twitter, it just shows the Vault Boy running away. I can't show it here, unfortunately. And someone else named Matt Grandstaff, who actually works at Bethesda, who's the head of Bethesda for something, I don't know. I forgot which head of, what department he's head of, but he's very important at Bethesda. He also put on Twitter later at the Greenbrier, hashtag Fallout 76, hashtag almost heaven. So it looks like that event, that Fallout 76 gameplay event that was going on at the Greenbrier Hotel in West Virginia, is now over. It looks like all the content creators who went to that event are on their way home and probably editing up the footage that they captured from that Fallout 76 event this weekend and getting ready to share it with us on Monday, because on Monday, October 8th, that is when the people who were at the event, who recorded gameplay of the event, will be able to share it with us. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Anyways, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.